Week number 6, boys and girls. We are back for another week of picks. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Gore. I'm glad to be away from week 5, that's for sure. It was another basic bitch week of picks for me. 5-5 last week. It was kind of a tough one. Lost some points, lost some big points. So we're 28-22 overall, kind of approaching the midway mark, just kind of stuck in the mud. And unless something big changes here in the next few weeks, it'll be a rough looking number at the end of the year. But we're still trying, and we've still got 10 picks to make again this week, and I've got some others thrown in there for you. So let's get right into it. As always, guys, give this video a like if you enjoy it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about these games and the couple of others I've got for you today, as well as anything else you might want to mention in the world of college football. And subscribe to the channel as always for more content like this. So let's get right into it. I took a brief look at it this morning. I've got a couple of options for a 10-pointer. I'm a little scared on TCU again because of the clunker they laid against West Virginia. So I'm trying to find a decent spot here, and I think I've settled on Fresno State at Wyoming. I'm going to make them my 10-point game. I know Wyoming is a tough environment to play, but man, am I a believer in this Fresno State team, right? I know Texas Tech went there and got trapped and lost, but I don't know how good Texas Tech really is. I do know how good Fresno State is. They are an excellent football team. Forget the fact that they're in the group of 5. Forget the fact that they're ranked 24th. They're a better team than that. I do respect Wyoming, especially at home. It is a tough environment to play. I concede that. They're not a bad football team. They're not spectacular offensively, but they will play good defense, and they do play well there at home. But again, in a tough week to find a game that really stands out to me, I'm going to go with the team I like the most, or one of the teams I like the most, and Fresno State's one of those teams. So I'll put the max points on them and hope I can actually get my 10-point game right this week and take Fresno State on the road. Now, moving on, here's another team I don't really enjoy putting points on at all, but I will do it. I'll take Iowa at home against Purdue. Purdue, very inconsistent. 2-3 on the year. It's been up and down. At least with Iowa, the one thing I know they're going to do is play really elite defense, which is fine. But Jesus, the offense is so bad. And now the starting quarterback is hurt. I don't know what the status is there. I'll have to check on that, but I know the backup was playing last Saturday and might be playing again this weekend. But I just don't believe in Purdue enough to go on the road and beat a good Iowa defense. That's kind of where the disconnect is for me. Give me Iowa. Do I like them? No, I hate their offense. It's terrible to watch. I won't watch much of this game, but I'll pick Iowa to win it. The next game, now I will go back to the well with TCU here at Iowa State. I didn't expect that last week. I didn't see that performance coming. They got ground down by a West Virginia team that, if the game starts to go that way, that's when West Virginia excels. They play good defense. They run the ball. And they capitalize and get a kind of an ugly, gritty win, which screwed me out of 10 points. But I'm going back to the well here at TCU. Iowa State is not West Virginia even. They are a team in transition. They're young. They're not. It's not a very good offensive team. I know it's a road test, but give me TCU here. Iowa State is kind of building and developing for down the line a little bit. The next game, some of these are kind of interesting. A couple of teams that I haven't quite checked in on very much this year. But one of the teams that obviously has been in the mainstream, obviously, is Notre Dame. They had to, again, the second straight week for them that they had kind of heart attack type game. Playing really, they won it, but did they look impressive? Not really. They had to really scratch it out. Duke's a very good team. It was, obviously the campus was up for it, and they put forth their best effort. Unfortunately, Riley Leonard got hurt at the end of that game. I don't know. I think he's obviously going to miss some time, but I don't know I don't know if it's the disaster injury. I think he avoided complete disaster, but anyway, Notre Dame. Do I like where they're at? I don't know. I like where they're at defensively. They're able to keep teams out of the end zone. But the offense has kind of sputtered a little bit. They've run up against solid competition. and they're on the road again against another solid team, a Louisville team with Jeff Brom, the alma mater, brings that offense. And they're playing well defensively. It's a good 5-0 team. I think Notre Dame will win it though. I give credit for the start for Louisville. Obviously, year one under Jeff Brom, it's going pretty. Year one or year two? I think it's year one. Give me Notre Dame, even though I think Louisville is pointed in the right direction, both this season and the future. Got a couple more games to go here. I'm gonna go with NC State against Marshall. I'll make them my number 6 here. Marshall is not a team I've checked in on this year very much. They are 4-0, and I know traditionally Marshall has kind of been that team in the group of 5 that like nobody talks about, and then they just put together solid year after solid year after solid year, and then you come across them, and then they beat a good team, right? So maybe this is a spot for that here. Like I say, I haven't checked in on Marshall very much this year, but NC State, I'll take them at home. Offense hasn't looked great. Brennan Armstrong hasn't been. I mean, the passing game. Like, hello, could we get something going from the offense out of NC State? It's not been pretty. But I'll pick them to win at home here against Marshall, and I'll probably complain about it next week when it bites me in the ass. But hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're just having fun picking some ball games, right? I'm going to leave Texas State, Louisiana here. I'll take Texas State on the road. Again, I'm not checked in on either of these teams too much this year, but I do know Texas State's got the new regime in there, and they are playing offense. They are slinging it around, putting points up, lighting up scoreboards, and doing their thing offensively. So I'll take that. Like I'll take that in college. That works well, especially in the group of 5, right? Where if you specialize in something and do it really well, you can have success there. So give me Texas State. Again, Louisiana, 3-2, not really checked in on them very much, so I don't have like an in-depth analysis of them. But I do know what Texas State does well with this new coaching staff, and that's light up the scoreboard. So we like that. These next 3 games are next 4 games. Starts to get a little tricky. I'll take Washington State against UCLA. UCLA is, riding the wave of the freshman quarterback, right? They went on the road and struggled, but now they're back home. Washington State, I've talked them up in these picks videos. They are a good team. I love them at home. On the road, we'll kind of see now. It's a different environment, but I don't know. I just like them. I just like what I see. I like the offense. It's just fantastic to watch. Cameron Ward is a freak in nature. Love the receivers. I just love the way they run their offense, and I like them to get a road win in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. Now these next, where am I going here with the next one? I guess I'll just put my money where my mouth is. I keep saying I believe in Texas. I believe in Texas. I believe in Texas. So I'll probably, I'll swap them. I'll move them up a point here or something like that. And I'll do it again, actually, now that I'm just doing this live, apparently. I just move them up to 5. I believe in this Texas team. I think Oklahoma is a good team. I like Brent Venables and the way he's, like the offense has come along. I thought that one thing Oklahoma might struggle with under him is getting an offense that can put up points because he's such a defensive guy. But they've done well. They're a good team. Obviously, it's Red River, right? It's a big game. I'll be all over it this weekend. But I just believe in this Texas team. They've broken the mold for me. It's no longer talk with this year's Texas team. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. They can run it. Quinn Ewers is fantastic. They don't have a Bijan Robinson, but they have a stable of backs that they can use now. And the defense is just playing outstanding. So give me Texas. And I will move on to the last 2 games here before we throw in a couple extras. I want to pick Texas A&M with every bone in my body here because I really enjoy picking against Alabama. And I like seeing changeover in the playoff picture. But I don't know. This losing again would, in essence, knock Alabama out of the playoff mix with 2 losses. But I just don't see it happening. I just don't. I'll pick Texas A&M. Am I thrilled? I'll pick Alabama. Sorry. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't know. I could see Texas A&M at home giving Alabama trouble. Again, Alabama's different on the road. It's a different story. So that's why I'm putting low points on this. But I'll take Alabama. I don't know. Maybe I switch this. Well, I don't know, but we'll see. Speaking of switching and getting mad, and it just LSU, could they play some defense, please? In LSU, like could they stop anybody at all? I don't understand what's going on. I know they got some injuries, and they can offensively they could put points up, but holy shit, they can't stop anybody. So for that reason alone, just simply put, LSU can't stop anybody, so I'm picking Missouri. Fuck it. I can't keep going to the well with LSU, knowing how bad that defense is playing. Missouri's got weapons. They've got an offense that could bring it. So I kind of like this Missouri team, and I like the upset. Just give me it. I'll take Missouri at home, and that will be the picks for this week. So you got Fresno State at 10, Iowa at 9, TCU at 8, Notre Dame at 7, NC State at 6, Texas at 5, Texas State at 4, Washington State at 3, Alabama 2, and the upset with Missouri at number 1. Hopefully this shakes out and we have a good week. Just wanted to throw some extra games in there for you guys as well. UCF Kansas, this is a Big 12 game. I keep looking at UCF and seeing their matchups each week and going, oh, it's a nice out-of-conference game, and then I forget that they're in the Big 12. They play a wild brand of football. They can score on anybody, and anybody can score on them. So, I mean, Baylor made the huge comeback. I mean, they had no business losing last week, but they did. But that's how UCF plays. They can score, and you can score on them. Kansas, unfortunately, last week, Jalen Daniels got hurt in the warm-up and missed the Texas game. Whether or not he plays in this game, I don't think it matters much to me as far as I'm concerned. I like Kansas. I think they're a good team. Give me Kansas at home in this one. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. If you're going to watch one that's not in the picks officially, watch this one for sure. I think it's going to be good. Speaking of not being in the picks, how is this game not? How are we not picking this game? How is this game not in the ESPN pick'em? That's a disgrace. Kentucky, Florida. This is going to be a great game. I don't think Georgia is going to roll over Kentucky here at all. I think it's going to be competitive all the way through. For some reason, Georgia is a 14-point favorite. Get the fuck out of here with that. Kentucky is much better than that. Will they be able to run the ball the way they did against Florida? No, but they did whatever they wanted. It was a pathetic performance by Florida. It was just awful. So I think this is going to be a very competitive game and it's going to be a fun to watch game. Kentucky's going to come in there and not be intimidated. They're going to play physical. They're going to try to run the ball. If they can, it'll come down to Devin Leary and whether he can make enough throws to kind of keep Georgia off balance. Georgia's not been great, especially at the start of these games. They wear you down in the second half. They have the ability to do that, but boy, they get off. I mean, they are not good at the starts of these big games. So look for that in the first half of this game. Can Georgia get off to a better start and kind of play from the lead, which is when they excel and they play at their best? I think Georgia will sneak this one out, but I love this Kentucky team. I think they're very, very good, and shame on ESPN for not putting this in the picks. Last game I wanted to just go over real quick. Michigan takes their show on the road to Minnesota. Minnesota can sometimes be a tough environment to play in, but for Michigan, it's really about just kind of setting everything up for the games against Penn State and Ohio State. The team is a machine. Offensively, they're bringing it. Defensively, it's Michigan, right? I mean, it's talk about Texas being loaded. Michigan's just as loaded, to be fair. So I like Michigan in the game, although it could be a kind of a trap-ish environment early, and maybe Michigan pulls ahead. But I wanted to just mention Michigan as when we talk playoffs, they're absolutely in the mix here. As one of the elite top end teams. Just don't get trapped here. So that's the picks, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. As always, like I say, give me a like, give me a subscribe, drop me a comment, and I will see you in the next video.